Eat this 3 times a day? You don't eat a hamburger?
I have had no animal protein because the animal protein clogs your arteries, and it has with 47% of men and 38% of women will probably have cancer during their lifetime, and 1 of 4 of these will die prematurely from cancer, and this number is going to double in the next 50 years. So it's very important. The protein, if you take spinach and 100 calories of spinach equals 12 grams of protein, and the same amount of beef equals 12 ounces of protein. And the spinach doesn't have any fat or cholesterol or any antioxidants, and it has a lot of good minerals in it. Whereas the meat will really just clog your arteries and cause you heart attack and cause you diseases.
Can you lose weight with this?
Absolutely. It's great for losing weight. I teach classes, Life Force Energy, the Hippocrates Approach to Optimum Health, and in the schools it's called Optimum Health for Kids. My students during a 10-week period can lose 20 to 40 pounds if they want to. If you are thin anyway, you maintain your weight and you develop muscle. So it's really great.
Yeah. What have you found is the most effective way to protect and regain health?
I'd say your attitude.
Your attitude?
Yeah, an open mind. Willing to take a look at what options you have. For example, Ilton had mentioned the analogy of the fish tank. And for any of you who have had an aquarium, what happens to the fish when the water gets dirty? The fish gets sick. So you take the fish out of the dirty water and you give them the antibiotics and they get better.
Right.
And then you take the fish and they put them back in the dirty water again, and what happens? They get sick again, and you can keep repeating that. So the analogy there is that the water is the atmosphere environment of life for the fish. Our blood is the environment of life for us. Our blood can become acid and toxic and contaminated the same way that the water in the aquarium does. So we know that by simply keeping the environment of life clean for us, we are going to elevate our body's ability to protect us against disease. This being a complete food in 70% chlorophyll, this also has high levels of oxygen and hydrogen and amino acids and all of the raw materials from which your body is able to protect you from disease.
Yeah. Do you have to add sugar or anything to make it taste better?
It's very sweet.
Very sweet?
Every grower is different.
Yeah.
But if at some point or another, you're more than welcome.
So you're saying right now we could make, if we had a juicer, you could make something, drink?
Right now, if you could take a 2-ounce shot, and that would be the equivalent of 5 pounds of green vegetables.
I see. So how do you get kids to change from junk food to healthy food? Whoever wants to.
First thing is try to get rid of the junk food in your house and not have it around for them to eat all the time. And then to provide them good substitutes that are just, you could start them with substitutes that are similar to what they eat anyway. You
like
can make
lead by example?
Beg pardon? Yes,
lead by
example, right. You can have them have a burger, but it's made out of vegetables and ketchup and French fries, but they're cooked in the dehydrator because you don't really cook them. You heat them under 105 degrees, and then they don't kill the enzymes. And so you can make pizza in the dehydrator too, and it's delicious. You can have delicious ice cream through your juicer, and also you can have cheesecake and all sorts of delicious things.
Anybody else want to take that question?
And think if you're curious, over Thanksgiving we had this wonderful cheesecake. We had a wonderful gathering, and it was made out of cashew cream. And I think, and one thing I made, they had coconut water and coconut meat in it. And when you blend this up, it becomes very rich and creamy. And you probably couldn't tell it from, a regular cheesecake. But it has no fat and it has no sugar, and it is not going to undermine your body's stability and health. But it's going to be even more tasty, and it's going to have more flavor than something that has been cooked. So protecting the enzymes enables your body to be able to absorb and to extract the nutrient value based upon all of the necessary digestive properties are still intact. You haven't killed them.
Yeah.
And
Now,
two
what
oth-
about the affluent society?
Oh.
Why don't we get into that area?
Can I say two other things about
Sure.
the last topic?
ahead.
Because I really like to.
Okay.
I'd like to say about my grandchildren
Right.
that my son usually tells them that if they go and they eat ice cream at a party or something, they usually are sick afterwards because they're so used to a good diet that when they eat bad food, they do feel awful. And it just reminds them that, if you eat ice cream, you're not going to feel too good. And they usually don't. And it's a reminder that the next time they go, they're not going to eat the ice cream. You also, a mother can bring a different type of ice cream. You can bring Coconut Bliss, which is you can find at Whole Foods, which is made out of coconut milk and not made out of the dairy. Because Colin Campbell, in his book Famous Study, the China study, showed that they tested about 6 million people, and the ones that were on a vegan diet, eating grasses and vegetables, they were healthy, and they gave them hamburgers and the American diet of milkshakes, and they immediately developed cancer and all these things. And they took them away, and their cancer disappeared. So it's just like turning a switch. You can change your diet if you want to.
Yeah.
The other thing that I quickly want to say, without monopolizing too much, in Miami there was an alternative school for delinquents, and they experimented and got these kids, they were boys, onto a vegan diet. All of a sudden they started getting up and feeling energy in the morning. Their behavior improved. They were less violent. The boys said, "Gee, I like broccoli better than hamburgers."
All right, what about the affluent society?
I like just to keep and say something about that Beth said about enzymes, because it's very important. People don't pay attention to that enzyme. But we talk about more protein, because America eat more protein than anybody else, And the vitamins, they don't know why they need some vitamin supplements. They don't know that the vitamin must be raw too, not the chemicals. And our body, they said, it's about 100 to 150 trillion cells in our body.
Yeah.
And 100,000 chemical reactions only happen in our body on the presence of enzyme. If you don't have enzyme in your body, you're going to become sick. And enzymes are here. Say the wheatgrass. And every fruit and vegetables, raw. If you cook them, you kill the enzymes. And if you cook them at 118 degrees,
Now,
you eliminate enzymes.
Are you saying that I could go out and any grass, bring it home, and make juice out of it?
As long
It
as
doesn't
there
have
aren't-
to.
You have to watch out for the pesticides.
Oh, there's some.
But in the
So you can't go to a local field where we play baseball.
well,
and
as long as they hasn't been sprayed. What
Yeah.
you need to do is go. I mean, in the
so it's
summertime.
better to kind of home grow it.
Well, in the summertime, I go out to. There are a lot of conservation lands around
Yeah.
here, and I pick the clover and pick the other flowers and vegetables and the natural ones, just the grasses, and make a wonderful salad from them.
Yeah.
It's absolutely delicious. It's the best
Really?
to have a variety of greens, and it's free.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Well, you know what's interesting here is that you don't have to understand or believe this. All you have to do is try it. Because the necessary experiences that we need in order to evaluate and to understand the impact and the significance and the remedial and transforming effect of all of this, what we've been talking about, you're not going to get it any more graphically than through your own experience. So if you went in and you had a shot of wheatgrass juice at a juice bar, for example, and they're springing up all over the place, every time you turn around, there's another new raw food restaurant that's coming to town.
Around here?
Yep.
Oh,
Which
yes.
one?
Planet Cafe, right over here in Center Street in Newton, right exit 17.
They just opened 2 months ago.
Oh, really?
And now they're
I'm not
open.
familiar with that one.
Oh, it is absolutely
What's
wonderful.
the address again?
It's what is the address?
what is it near?
It's right across from Bertucci's.
Bertucci's in
Right.
Waltham?
No, in Newton.
In Newton.
Right.
Newton Corner.
Okay. Newton
Right.
Corner?
Yeah, exit 17,
Yeah.
5
I know
minutes from
Newton
here.
Corner.
Yeah, it's great on
Yeah.
Center Street there.
Yeah.
And they have wonderful food from 7 in the morning because it's right next to the Prana Yoga.
Yes.
And they have a kids area. The kids can have a good fun over there, and they have a kids menu too. And they serve breakfast and lunch, and they just got their license to serve beer and wine in the evening and for dinner.
So you're a regular there?
Yes, I certainly am.
Okay.